once again, it's your boys, no jobbers allowed, and this is episode 7 of the pod. And like always, it's me, Big Ish, and with me, like always, is my homie.
It's your guy, Irwin.
And we coming at you with another week of reviews of WWE main shows of Raw and SmackDown. You know how we gets down, listeners. So let's go ahead and get into what you came for. So, Irwin, why don't you go ahead and set them up with what we had on first on the A show of Raw this week, and we gonna go ahead and kick it to him.
Yeah, so we started off with Baron Corbin in the ring, and he's holding the vacant Universal title. And then he's talking some garbage, and he said something that I didn't really like. He's like, Corbin respects Reigns personally, but professionally, he hopes Reigns does not come back to Raw. What I think is BS, because
that was messed up right there. That was messed up.
Shout out to our boy Joe, man. Hopefully Roman Reigns gets better quickly, man. Our thoughts and prayers and whatever you do is with him. So yeah, I didn't really like that too much, but so he's in the ring and we get a Brock Lesnar interruption. Actually, a pretty decent pop, man. So then we get a Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman hyping up Crown Jewel, man. And then eventually Braun Strowman comes out. We get a whole what to do, but then this ends up with Brock Lesnar F5ing Braun Strowman. What do you think about
you left out my favorite part, a little shout out to Paul Heyman. Baron trying to talk up for Brock, and then Paul Heyman stops him. Hey, you do your shtick, and I'll do mine. And that was that happened to a very big pop. And then, of course, Braun came out there and Baron tried to break him up, putting his hand on Braun, and Braun power slammed him a couple times. And then, of course, the crowd starts a one more time chant. So you end up with a third power slam, but then you end up getting Braun into the F5. And I will say that was smooth as hell. Brock, people sometimes forget, or maybe younger people sometimes forget, Brock is actually a national champion in wrestling, I think from Minnesota. And he got Braun up on his shoulders so quick. That was a beautiful shot. It was a beautiful shot and a seamless transition to the F5. So I thought that was great. And that was a good play up for WWE Crown Jewel this week. And I thought that's what it was. And only thing I thought it was missing, instead of the F5, it should have had Drew come back out there and Claymore kick Braun again. Every time Braun comes out in his own camera, he should get Claymore kicked by Drew. But that's just me.
I'm with you on that one, though. I'm with you on that one. I'd love to see that Claymore kick. But yeah, so that's just our first segment was hyping up Crown Jewel, which was pretty good. It did what it was supposed to do. After having to do some booking on the fly with taking Roman out of that match, they've done a good job of making us want to watch these two Titans go against each other. And then next we had Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley, and good match, very good match. I liked it. Did not like the ending. So they did their back and forth thing, very similar to what they did last week, except for they got to go a little bit more. As Balor was about to hit the coup de grace, Lio Rush stops it, and the referee calls the match. Don't really know what they're going for with this one. Don't know why they had the same match 2 times in a row. I guess the thing is, I like both of these guys. They're both my guys, as you say. When I pop for somebody, I pop for Balor. As far as a heel, I like Bobby Lashley. I love Lio Rush. I just don't know what they're doing with this. What do you think? What's your angle on this, Big Ish?
Unfortunately, if you're gonna have Lio Rush. If you was going to have Lio Rush interfere, why not have him do it 2 weeks in a row? Why did you let Balor win the first match and then have him interfere in the second? You should have did it both. That way it could be a little bit more exciting. Like if you were going to have the payoff with Balor beating the big bag heel and Bobby Lashley, why not let it be because he had to overcome Lio Rush always interfering, and he had to overcome the Rocky Mountain Madman and Bobby Lashley. That's how what's up?
Yeah, no, keep going. I don't want to interrupt, bro.
But that's how I would have did it. Lio Rush should have interfered in the first match last week, and with this interference this week, setting up, I say about maybe a 5-week rivalry where it culminates with Finn Balor finally overcoming Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley. But I don't know, like you, I don't know the way they've been doing it. I don't know what the payoff is supposed to be. I know it's just supposed to get your heels some more time and get a baby face a lot more time. But the way they're setting this up is I don't understand what the payoff is supposed to be for either of the competitors.
And the crazy thing about this is, after this match, Baron Corbin gives Bobby Lashley a spot in the World Cup tournament.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's not sugarcoat this. We know why that happened.
Well, we know why it happened, but
John
they
Cena
could have told a different story. They could have put.
But
they didn't even need to have this.
You tell them then.
They could have not had this whole thing. They could even they could have saved Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley for another week. Had Finn Balor face anybody else, and then all you could do is see Bobby Lashley standing backstage, and Baron Corbin could be like, "Hey, I want to see." He could have done the same thing without having this match. So to me, it looks like Bobby Lashley gets rewarded for this terrible showing.
So here's why I disagree with you, bro. Before Bobby Lashley, the feud was Baron Corbin and Finn Balor.
Of course.
So with Bobby Lashley putting the hands on Finn Balor like that, that's what opens the door for Baron Corbin to say, I like what you've been doing. You've been beating up on my rival, so let me put you on into the crown jewel. That's why that part happened. And that was the only way for that part to happen, because I don't think too many other superstars wanted to go to crown jewel. So you had to find some type of way to get that to happen. And I think that's how they did it, was with, all right, Balor was always rival and feuding with Baron. Bobby beats him up. Baron likes that. Okay, let me give you the spot at crown jewel. That's why that had to happen, bro.
I just think that there's so many other ways to do this. I can spit them out. We don't have enough time in this podcast where I would have booked this where it wouldn't have ended with this match ending like this. They could have had Bobby Lashley jump him before the match even started. They could have had him.
I do say it should have been a squash match. I do say it should have been a squash match, because the way Finn beat him last week, it should have infuriated Bobby to the point where he should have destroyed Finn.
Exactly. So I just didn't really understand it. I mean, I got where it was going, like you explained it. Like that made sense to me in the beginning. I just don't agree with the way that they necessarily did it. So, all right, listeners, this is two of our favorite competitors that we like here is Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley. So we want to hash it all out and get it going. So then next up on the on Raw, we see a post-Evolution video of SmackDown Women's Champion interrupting an interview with Ronda Rousey, and we get the announcement for Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch at WWE Survivor Series, which I don't know, man. I don't know if WWE wants to do this to Ronda yet, man, because Becky Lynch is hot, man.
You gotta have Becky win.
Oh, of course.
Well, unless the only thing you're trying to do is make Ronda even more hype. But if you got Nia Jax versus Ronda coming up soon, then you have to. Ronda got to lose at some point, and why not make her lose at a point where she won't have to give up the belt? So it has to be that way. Becky gonna have to beat Ronda.
So here's the thing, though. And I'm standing by this. I've been going by this since Super Showdown. They are not going to have Ronda lose for a long time. I think Ronda beats Becky at this pay-per-view.
So she beats Becky and Nia?
Of course. It's going to happen. She's keeping that title till WrestleMania. She's keeping her unblemished record. This is the cash cow. This is the person that they spent all the money on. She is not losing for a long time.
I can see that. I respect it. But yeah,
in my opinion,
that should be. I want it to be a better match than what it's going to be. But I don't think. I'm hoping by the time we get to Survivor Series, which is only 3 weeks, but I don't know if she's ready to compete and make a match like what Becky just had with Charlotte. I don't know how well they're going to work together. But that's why I'm saying 3 weeks in, we don't know what's been happening in the background. They could have already been working together. So let's just hope once they get in the ring, the sparks will fly.
Yeah, and Rhonda's going to get booed out of the building against Becky. So WWE better be ready for this backlash, man. They better be ready for it.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. So then to continue on with that, we had something that I think was a little bit disappointing after we had this great all-women's pay-per-view. They just threw all of the women in a tag match. So we had Trish Stratus, Lita, Sasha Banks, Bayley. Like, what kind of stuff is that? So we just had a great women's pay-per-view. I don't even want to do this match justice by trying to go over it. It ended with the face team winning. They all hit their finishers and whatnot. I'm let down by this. They should have given them a better payoff or given them something more to go off of after they all did so well in this pay-per-view last time. They should have been separate matches, singles matches, something. I wasn't a huge fan of this. What did you think about all this?
I'm not going to talk about it. Let's just go on, because you know how much I hate my Riot Squad losing for no reason, for no benefit, for no good payoff. There was no payoff here. There was no reason to do this 10-woman tag match besides the fact it says 10-woman tag match. WWE just was trying to just capitalize off the heat from Evolution, but they did it in the worst way possible. Each of these women in this match deserve their own shine. They deserve matches curated for them to actually showcase their skills. This was not it, WWE. So let's go ahead and go to the next match.
All right, so next we had a backstage segment, which Nia Jax is being interviewed by Kayla Braxton. And when I say scripted promo, this promo sounded like she was a robot, like she was reading a teleprompter. We need to get Nia Jax a mouthpiece, man. We need somebody who can talk for her because she's just not good at it with the promos. She's not believable. I can tell everything is scripted. Eventually, she's interrupted by Ember Moon, thank God. And then they set up a match for Nia Jax versus Ember Moon for later tonight. Then that was what it was. Next up on this, Elias is out in the ring. He's doing his whole thing where he's being a face now. And they've kind of tweaked his character to where still he's kind of edgy. But at the same time, he's still like a face, you know? I like.
You mean like a heel?
I'm sorry. Yeah, he's edgy, but like a face edgy.
Yeah, he's technically a heel.
Yeah,
but with face qualities.
Yeah, he does really good. He has a segment where he says he can't let Corbin off that easy. It's just a great segment with Elias. What'd you think about it?
Yeah, it was good. Went back there, went to Baron Corbin's office.
Mm-hmm.
But then it gets jumped from behind by Jinder Mahal.
There we go.
It sets up the next match we're going to get into, bro.
Then we had Elias versus Jinder Mahal, and I'm a little bit worried about Elias's ring work, man. It's kind of like he was pulled straight from the 80s. He's not as crisp as some of the performers that we have nowadays, but it was what it was, and it ended with Elias hitting a knee and his signature, the drift away for a pin. What do you think about that, Ish?
Elias need to quit wearing them nut hugger jeans. That's why he can't move. You're right though. I think we discussed it maybe before we started the podcast. Before, like how I really didn't see the allure for Elias, and maybe that's because I was looking more towards his in-ring work, which I believe could use a little bit more polishing. But as a personality, WWE needs about 10 more of him.
Definitely.
Because his personality is what kind of overshadows some of his maybe lower skill. No, let me not say lower skills. That sounds too disrespectful. But his personality overshadows some of the things that we may desire more out of him in the ring.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He does great promos. He's a good talker. You excited. The crowd is always excited when Elias comes out because they want to walk with Elias. It's just in his matches, he could do better, but you can forgive some of that because of how great a personality he is.
Truth. I agree with you. Then we go on further. The announcers hyped the World Cup, a video package with Kurt Angle doing another super scripted promo. talking about he's coming to Crown Jewel to prove he's the greatest in the world. After that, oh man, we get the Ascension versus Bobby Roode. I'm sorry, the Ascension versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Authors of Pain. And man, when I tell you how far the tag team division has fallen, I'm not a huge fan of what's going on here. This ended with Chad Gable and Bobby Roode winning. After the match, the Authors of Pain destroy everybody in the ring. The same stuff they've been doing for a while. The Raw tag team division is garbage right now. I don't know what to say. I don't know how you feel about it. Actually, tell me how you feel about it, Ish, with the state of the world tag team champions on Raw.
Shit, my bad. My mic was on mute. Damn it.
Oh, shit.
What did you hear? Anything?
Absolutely nothing. Last thing I said was tag team champions, something along that they're terrible. What do you think of the Big Ish? The state of the tag team champions.
The state of tag team champions, or the tag teams in general, would be a lot better if you quit putting freaking tag titles on individual superstars. Why the hell do Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins got the tag titles? Why? No good damn reason. Why did Drew McIntyre and Dolph have the tag titles? No good damn reason. What do these tag teams have to vie for now? Why are they wrestling against each other? There's no payoffs. It's annoying. They have no good damn reason to really have a good tag teams in the WWE on Raw, because there's no reason if you keeping these tag titles on individual superstars. And that's why you have a bad tag division right now. That's really why. Why would you invest in the tag division if you ain't even got no tag championships for them, if you always gonna put them on the highest superstars? Single competitor superstars. That's my problem with it, bro. It just is what it is. I don't like it at all. I do not like that we're not investing in the tag team division.
Yeah, we care less about this. So hopefully WWE has an answer for this, because going into this, or going to the next segment, Intercontinental and Raw Tag Team Champion Seth Rollins, and he comes out to the ring, and he wants answers from Dean Ambrose. You know, he calls him out, calls him like a heartless bastard, all this stuff. Ambrose comes out, and he's actually in the crowd. He gets the "You Sold Out" chant. Pretty much it's just Rollins talking to him. They just kind of have like a stare off. I don't know what to think of this one. What'd you think?
Boring and useless.
Yeah.
Like, I should have had them fight at least something. But just the talking and standing there was boring. It was very useless. You could have done these as video promos. You could definitely done these as little quick video promos that set you up for the eventuality when they will actually see each other in the ring. But this does nothing for me, and I don't even want to talk about it because it didn't really mean anything.
It meant nothing. I don't know what it's setting up, but you can go on to Nia Jax versus Ember Moon. For what it was decent. It ended with Tamina coming out, interrupted Nia Jax and Ember Moon's match. Nia Jax takes advantage of the distraction, drops Ember Moon, nails her with the hellacious leg drop, and yeah, we get another weird match where we're kind of squashing our up-and-coming superstars who just got over the night before on WWE Evolution for no real reason. And then Tamina and Nia Jax have a weird standoff. Like, they look at each other for a little bit.
Bro, I don't know what the hell they doing.
Yeah, so I'm a very confused fan here. Like, I don't know where they're going with this.
Because Ember Moon should be riding a wave off of Evolution. She should be riding a wave. You shouldn't even put her in a match with Nia, because there was nobody else. Like, I didn't even like the setup for this match with the backstage promo we talked about earlier with Nia. Oh, well, I'm good. Oh, I'm better. Yeah, or how they trying to have Nia play like a personality that isn't suited to her, where she tried to cut Ember off. Like, I'm sorry, but you was talking to me. You know, the number one contender for... That's not Nia. That's not Nia at all. So, like, I didn't even like the setup for this match. You should be having You should be having lower tier superstars right now jobbing to Ember. You shouldn't have her with Nia Jax right now. You have Nia Jax on a collision course for the Raw Women's Championship. Now solidify Ember Moon as the next up then. Have some couple single competitor ladies job to Ember Moon, set her up so after Nia Jax and Rhonda have they squabbles at wherever they gonna have they squabbles at, everyone knows that Ember Moon is the next established woman superstar that should be vying for the championship. And
not
they're
after
not.
this. Not
Yeah,
after
not
this,
after
man.
this.
That's an
I don't
example
like,
of how
and
you.
I don't like it because I think they're trying to sneak Tamina in there now ahead of Ember,
I
and
think
I
they're
don't
trying
like
to
it.
capitalize off her being Roman Reigns' cousin and
Yeah,
seeing if she can get a little bit of shine off that.
but I'm saying I don't like it because that means all the hard ass work Ember Moon been putting in up to this, getting the crowd on her side, getting the heat that she been getting, like it means nothing. It means nothing now.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
But
Let's
let's
not.
go on to the
Yeah.
next one. Yeah,
So
let's
then,
go.
another very random match in a very very strange Raw, man. It was the Lucha House Party versus the Revival.
Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. I love the Lucha House Party. Listeners, if y'all watch 205 Live, y'all would love Lucha House Parties too. Shout out to the guys, Listerado, Grand Metalik, Sin Cara. We out here, baby.
So they went over Dash and Dawson, who I can recall if I could bring up the pod maybe a month ago. You said that the Revival were on their way to getting pushed after having a great match with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, I think.
No,
But
no. What we said was
what you said was
no,
not no
because
no.
remember the following week after the tag that tag championship match, you said, man, that was the Revival had a good match with Dolph and Ziggler. Why did they have to job the following week? And I was like, well, shit, they ain't got nothing else to do.
It's
Like
gonna be a
they,
continued. Why
yeah.
why didn't that doesn't make any sense? They're supposed to be the established team. Why are they same thing with like Ember Moon? Why are they losing to the Lucha House Party?
I don't know.
We don't know who the hell the Lucha House Party is.
I do.
You do. The
'Cause
majority of people watching Raw don't know who the hell the Lucha House Party are. I think we can say that.
That's why you need to revival the job to them if that's who you want to build up. They ain't got. Look at Raw right now. They ain't got no Hispanics right now. They ain't got no like real cruiserweights like that. So yeah, if you want to build that portion of your brand, yeah, you're gonna have to have somebody likable job.
Truth. Okay, I see where you're going with that one. Okay, I got it. That actually makes sense to me. I rescind what I was about to say. But next, moving along, dude, this is another person who I don't understand why they're booking him this way. We got Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews. They had a decent back and forth match, but again, Apollo Crews has interrupted Elias. He's talking all this shit and comes out and loses. What's the point?
Okay. So it's listeners, you didn't hear this on the pod because I didn't say it on the pod, but I was talking to Chris about it. The only thing you can do with Apollo with this type of booking is get him to the point where you're going to have to change his personality. He's too smiley, too happy-go-lucky. With these losses, you're going to have to keep making him lose every time he comes out.
Bro, he's been losing for the past year and a half.
That's what I'm saying. So follow me. Now you get to change his personality because the happy-go-lucky isn't working. The always smiling isn't working. What he needs to do, listeners, follow me on this, is start up rolling with Bobby Lashley, and Titus O'Neil got to quit being so happy-go-lucky too. They just got to become dominant forces of nature. Because if you look at Apollo, Bobby, and Titus, no one should be able to stop them if they're together. And imagine that having Leo Rush as a front man. They would go out and wreck shop. Basically the anti-New Day. They would be Raw's anti-New Day. They, instead of positivity, the power of negativity, they would go out there and wreck shop on the whole divisions.
We did talk about this, yeah. We
Yeah,
did.
they would
Yeah.
wreck shop on divisions. So they will wreck shop on the tag divisions. I would say you put Apollo with Titus because they have the most, and they will wreck shop on the single divisions with Bobby Lashley just going out there and squashing everybody. That's what WWE needs to do. And if they ain't doing it, then maybe I can come and write for y'all because clearly y'all don't know shit about wrestling.
Preach. Well, the best thing about this after the match, McIntyre enters the ring and he talks some garbage to Apollo Crews some more. McIntyre raises Ziggler's arm and, they leave the ring. I love to see Drew McIntyre. That's my guy. Next, we get our hype for the main event of Crown Jewel. We get Undertaker walking out to the ring with both the Brothers Destruction go to the ring. They say what they got to say. Taker gives his take on everything. Triple H comes out with some goddamn glow sticks. He's throwing at the crowd. But Triple H comes out by himself. Where is Shawn Michaels is the kind of way that, they're kind of looking around. Shawn Michaels ends up being behind Undertaker and Kane. He hits Undertaker with Sweet Chin music, runs away real quick. They tease Undertaker being out, but then, of course, like always, he sits up. They look back and forth. Raw goes off the air with this segment. I'm going to give my take on it, then you can give your take. I'm very underwhelmed right now by this. And usually nostalgia gets me, man, but I thought it was corny, man. I thought it was lame. I don't understand a 50-year-old man coming out with glow sticks. I get it, and I know you're going to explain why he comes out with glow sticks. I get it, but I'm not super invested in this match right now. But the nostalgia's keeping me there. What do you think?
We just saw the reason why you're not excited. The reason why the nostalgia isn't working is because you just seen this at SSD Super Showdown. We just seen this at Super Showdown, especially with them making it a new no DQ match. You got your basic unofficial Brothers of Destruction versus DX. So you just watched this match a couple weeks ago. So
True.
You're not excited because, well, I just watched this shit. So that's what it is. It's like I'm gonna watch the match and I'm gonna be excited, but it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm not tripping off this match at all. If I didn't watch it, cool. But I am gonna watch it anyway. So, but that's what it is. We just watched this match a couple weeks ago. Only thing you did was make it officially a tag match. That's it.
Yeah, man, not super excited about it, but it is what it is. Crown Jewel going down. Let's get into SmackDown going from here. We start off in the ring, and AJ Styles comes out. He takes the mic. Everything is going, and then he calls Daniel Bryan out to the ring because he needs to get something off of his chest. They go back and forth. They talk their mess to each other. They say what the WWE title means to themselves. Then Shane comes out. Shane says, these are two competitors who want to fight, and it never transpires. And he said, this is SmackDown, and he's back. And then, boom, all of a sudden we got Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles in a match right here, right now. I loved it. I love the fact, under the circumstances why this match is actually happening, it's kind of sad, but the fact that we get to see Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles on SmackDown Live, a couple days earlier than we were supposed to see it at Crown Jewel, and they did not disappoint, man. Again, listeners, this is what I'm going to say is the match of the year for SmackDown. I haven't seen a TV match like this in a while. They go back and forth. They do what they need to do. They're just the great professionals that they are. This ended with AJ Styles getting the calf crusher on Daniel Bryan and tapping out after a nice lengthy match. Man, was it good. Man, was it good. And at the end of it, they stand up, they shake their hands, they embrace, and then we get Samoa Joe in the ring, and he takes both of them out, man. Great segment to start SmackDown. You know, he puts the coquina clutch on them. It was really, really good. What did you think about it, Ish?
Well, you know what it is. First and foremost, listeners, you already know why they did it on SmackDown Live, and if you don't, let me hip you guys to the K-Fob game. So, if you didn't know, if you haven't been reading any of your 3 Count Bout articles or your pro wrestling articles, Daniel Bryan pulled out a crown jewel for obvious reasons. And they still had to give us this match because the crowd, the audience, the WWE Universe really wanted this match. So starting this off was incredible, though. I didn't expect them to start SmackDown off like this, though. So that match was just incredible, man. Beating them with the calf crusher. I don't know if they got AJ over on this because of DB pulling out. So I don't know how Crown Jewel would have paid off or played out if DB didn't pull out, but he did. So and then Samoa Joe comes out. Oh, Wendy, my guy Samoa Joe, and just lays waste to both of them. So. It is what it is, listeners. Listeners, it is what it is. Go watch that match. It was a pretty good match. I was just very surprised they started SmackDown off with that great of a match.
Yeah, man, and it was really, really good. And I had that kind of it can only go down from here is the way I thought after that. And I think that's kind of the way, not to be a super Debbie Downer, that the rest of SmackDown went for me. You know, after the match, we get a lot of hype for the Crown Jewel World Tournament. We get some backstage promos from, Jeff Hardy, who says he'll be the best in the world. Then we get one from The Miz, who says he wants to be the best in the world. And, they're advertising the main event with Miz and Randy Orton versus Hardy and Rey Mysterio, which sounds like it's something straight out of 2008. But that's okay. We'll keep it all moving. We get a backstage segment with SmackDown General Manager Paige, and she talks to Charlotte Flair, giving her props in the last woman standing match, telling her you did such a good job and it could have gone either way. Then Paige asks Flair if she wants to be the captain for the women's team at Survivor Series. Flair declines. Paige tells her to think about it. She says she will. Then next we get the trick or street fight. We get Big E versus Cesaro. And the best part about this match.
Wait, you mean Gangrel versus Cesaro?
And so, as you listeners know what that means if you didn't watch it, Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston came out dressed as late 90s stable, The Brood, with Big E playing Gangrel. If you don't know who The Brood is, please just Google The Brood. Included Gangrel, Edge and Christian. Back when they first started, it was a good match,
that was a big, and just take a side note for it, just very cool. That used to be a huge stable, because what was it called overall? Because you had the Brood with Edge, Christian, Gangrel, then you had the Brothers of Destruction, and you had APA. Who else was all a part of that, and what was it called? I can't remember for the life of me.
That was the Ministry of Darkness.
The Ministry of Darkness. You had a lot of people in that. That was, I'm telling you, listeners, that was a fun time in wrestling. But let's keep it pushing, though. So you got Big E versus Cesaro in the trick or street fight, which really was good, man. They did some good spots. Big Show played himself up as a big man, attacking Xavier and Kofi. And like I said, Big E comes out with it. He wins. They get some kendo stick work in, which was one of my favorite spots. But, bro, go ahead and tell them what you liked about the match.
Oh, man, I like that it was fun. Usually these Halloween type matches are just corny and stupid, but this is actually good work with a little bit of that fun wrestling kind of humor pushed in. I really, really liked it a lot. I really want them to kind of explain why Big Show's with Cesaro and Sheamus. Hopefully they do at some point, because they don't really need them, but maybe we'll figure it out later in the future.
I don't either, bro. I really can't figure out why they needed Big Show. Sheamus and Cesaro was already good enough to go over New Day without adding anything else to them, unless it's the opposite way of what we thinking, and we just needed Big Show to get over again with some younger talent.
I honestly think one of the reasons this is just me a shot in the dark. I think they just needed a reason to throw Big Show on Crown Jewel. Just
More nostalgia.
They're trying to play for that nostalgia. I hear that that's what that country is very, very big on, is that when the Attitude Era boom, which is why the main event is Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus the Brothers of Destruction, which is why the World Cup is filled with stars from the mid-2000s. I think that's one of the reasons why they're doing this, to be honest.
Okay, I respect that. So we ain't got much more to say about that. Let's go ahead and hit the next match.
So we got a backstage segment before the next match, and it's Shane McMahon, and he's backstage with Jeff Hardy, The Miz, and they're asking who will become the best in the world on Friday. Excuse me. And Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton are also back there. They're talking stuff to each other. Eventually, this ends up with Shane said he called them there for a reason, saying the person who loses the World Cup will be fired. So that's adding a little bit of fuel to the fire on their side. But the next match they have is Shinsuke Nakamura versus R-Truth. And I don't remember if this is for the United States title or not.
It was a title match, actually.
It was a title match. Okay. Well, this match was fun. It's good to see Shinsuke actually be... Well, first of all, let's talk about how far Shinsuke has fallen. And I forgot that he had the U.S. title. Like, what
Dog! I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Bro, I said the same shit. I tweeted, damn, I forgot Shinsuke existed. I forgot the United States Championship existed for a while. I said the exact same thing, bro. His booking is like atrocious right now.
I don't know why they do it this way, but at least they let him get the win over R-Truth. And again, R-Truth is always very entertaining and a good little back and forth match. Yeah, man, I don't know what more to think about this. It was kind of like a throwaway match.
So it was a good match due to the workers, but it's not a good match. It all in all, bro, I like the match because I like R-Truth. I like Shinsuke. But damn, the way y'all booking this guy, I don't think WWE likes Shinsuke. So let's go ahead and move on. Unless you got some more to say about it. I don't.
No, I've got nothing. But next we get a segment with Becky Lynch, man. She's so good, man. She's so good.
She's incredible, bro.
She's so really good. Incredible. And right now they're really hyping up that whole Ronda Rousey versus Becky thing. Becky says she didn't come from a reality TV show. She came here to rip Ronda's arm off. Becky Lynch is amazing, man. Like, I feel really bad that they're putting up Ronda Rousey up against this character right now, this early in Ronda's career. One, she's going to get killed on the mic. Two, she's not as good as far as ring work goes. Three, they're going to have to try to make her win, at least. Oh, man, I feel so bad for Ronda.
Well, the problem is I don't feel bad for Ronda. I feel bad for Becky because they're going to have to figure out a way to make Ronda win convincingly, which will piss me off because there's no way she should win against Becky right now.
Not at all.
Like, Becky's white hot right now. Just you don't make a superstar job like that when they white hot. Like, especially when you're building up your superstar. She would have had you say she won't lose to WrestleMania. She won't. That's in April. So when did she get the title? Maybe a few months ago then. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be maybe less than a year she holds the title. So I don't like it because y'all not even giving her a record-breaking championship reign, but y'all gonna make her beat Becky during this reign? Nah, I don't like it. Becky deserves way better than that, and I don't like it. But that was what it was, ladies and gentlemen. So let's move on.
So we get our main event from the evening. It is The Miz and Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio. Good main event, man. I liked it. Good back and forth action.
Wait, bro. You said a good main event. Are you speaking from the past? Because that was a good main event, and this was 2008.
Hey man, you know I'm a sucker for nostalgia. You know this. You know when I hear that Rey Mysterio music and that Jeff Hardy, and I get to see all of them in the ring together. You know, a little bit of college Irwin. You know, gets a little sentimental, and I think I start thinking back to where what I was doing at that time. So I like
This
it.
would have been Big Ish just getting out of high school, meeting Irwin in college in 2008. Like that was when I would have enjoyed this match. This, like, I tell you, truth, listeners, you know my big rule: I don't lie to you, I don't front on you. I changed the channel.
Man, you missed out on some good work for some good workers who
No, I
know
didn't.
exactly what they're doing. I urge you to
I
go back and watch it because I'm the harshest of all critics. If I thought it was bad, I'd tell you right now. I mean, it even ended with Randy Orton hitting his RKO on everybody. Like it was
Oh,
classic sports
I
entertainment.
did. Well, look, I watched the highlights.
Mm,
I saw the out of nowhere, like when Ray jumped off the top rope right into Randy's RKO,
hmm
but that was about all I needed to see. Like, if you would have just did that immediately, I would have watched the match.
Hey man, I'm gonna, you don't have to, you don't gotta take my word for it, but if you got about 15 minutes of your time, I would go back and watch this again, or watch it for the first time. It
Yeah,
was
that's
good.
15 minutes too long, my
It
guy.
was good, and that's coming from me, the harshest of all critics.
I guess I might check it out. It's on Hulu now anyway, but you know me, dog.
It's,
I don't lie to my listeners. If I didn't watch it because I didn't want to, listeners, I'm telling you that off top. And like I said, this was 2008, Big Ish. You know, baggy pants and big T-shirt, Big Ish. I would have enjoyed this match.
well,
Jean
that's
Jean shorts, Big Ish. I would have enjoyed this match.
oh, I miss jorts, big ish, jean shorts, big ish. All right, listeners, that's our review for Raw and SmackDown, man. Please make sure you comment, tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you thought. So, what you got for him, Big Ish?
Well, you know what it is, listeners. Once again, we're going to end another week. This was No Jobbers Allowed, episode 7. And as always, I'm Big Ish, and with me is my man, Pots and Pans.
It's your guy, Irwin.
And we out.
We out.
Listen to this music.